How you doing, everybody? I'm back here with my main man, and this is gonna be the last episode, the last and final installment of the adventures in the Middle East.
I think
Except this time we're not in the Middle East anymore. We're back home, man.
this was. I think it's called. It's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah, this is a while.
It's been like 2 months, I think.
You're leaving in a week, man.
Yeah.
I forgot. Am I saying your first name?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. My first name's fine.
All right.
It's
What, Ripples in the Desert Sand?
Ripples in the Desert Sand.
Dude, but just tell me about like what it was like when you first got back to Ridgecrest, man.
Well,
when
before
you
we
first got here.
before we let me give you some context first. I was okay. So the week I was leaving from the Middle East, from Egypt, I was. I think I may have talked about this in the past. I was dating a girl, and we were pretty involved. And I was extremely sick. I was sick for 2 months straight. Doctors couldn't figure out what was going on. I was extremely overweight. I was in bad shape. I was in really bad shape. And so I knew that as soon as I got onto that air, well, I didn't know, but I was, we were saying our goodbyes, and I was in bad shape, man. I needed to get out of there quickly. And while I was sick in Egypt, I was sick for 2 months, and doctors couldn't figure out what was going on with me. And I was like, it got so bad I was starting to cough up blood.
Wow.
It was pretty bad. And as soon as I left the country, I flew into Turkey. Whatever pulmonary problems I had were immediately gone. Were gone. Like, immediately. It's like I wasn't sick anymore. I wasn't coughing anymore. I wasn't spitting up blood.
That's crazy, man.
It was just gone, dude.
Within how long?
As soon as I got there, it was gone, dude.
Like the second
I got there, it was gone because the air was so much cleaner.
Wow, dude, that's amazing.
Yeah. I wasn't breathing in like dirt and smoke and like the stench of like trash. I wasn't breathing that anymore. It was just clean air now. And that was a huge relief for me because I wasn't sure what was happening. I was actually kind of scared. And so I landed in LAX, and my family picked me up. And that's when I started the process of trying to get back into some decent shape, eating healthier, running. Because even though I was in the city, the air quality was a lot better than when it was in Egypt. It was a lot. I had a variety of food now. I didn't have to eat carbs all the time. Carbs for me, my diet in Egypt was all carbs, but when you tack on sugar with that thing too, when you tack on sugar and you're only eating sugar and carbs, it's pretty bad. It's pretty devastating for your body.
Yeah, man.
So when I got home,
because you couldn't afford meat, man. Those people can't afford meat.
Dude, no, they can't. But it was just, remember, this food is just hanging out in the open, dude. Meat, they had the cow hanging.
Oh.
And cars are driving by. Dust is being kicked up.
That's fucking nasty, man.
And it's pretty gross. And I ate that food. And I would eat that food. I remember one thing when the plane was coming into LA. I remember flying over Burbank and looking out the window, and I said, I don't remember my city, or I don't remember LA being so gray.
Yeah, you told me about this in one of the other podcasts.
Yeah, I flew in, I was like, I don't remember it being so gray and like ugly. To me, it was ugly.
Yeah.
And that was kind of heartbreaking for me because it's like, well, I don't remember it being this way.
To be fair, I always thought LA was ugly.
What? Hey. Yeah, it is. So I tried immediately to get into a, healthier routine.
Yeah.
And coming in Egypt, there was a nightmare. And so I was always trying to, going home cannot be worse. It cannot be any worse than what it is here.
Yeah.
But little did I know that 2 months after arriving, it would get worse for me.
So how about the first month? What was it like for the first week and then month?
So in LA, I was offered a job to teach, and I said, okay. I wasn't planning on working. I was just planning on decompressing, whatever, getting back to be, learning to be an American again. But I got a job, and I said, this would probably be good for me to get back. This is a good way to get back into a routine, to the American lifestyle. So I got a job, and I moved to Ridgecrest. Now, this girl I was dating lived in Oregon, and she was with me in Egypt, so we flew back together, and she was in Oregon.
Man, so wait, before you get into that,
Yeah.
you couldn't find a job in Oregon?
The thing is that she lived in Oregon, but she went to school in a different state, Nebraska. She went to a different school.
Damn.
In Nebraska. So I went out there to fly to see her before I went to work, before I just, would move to my new place. I really liked this girl, and it came to the point where I would do anything for her.
Yeah.
Like, distance wasn't an issue for me. And so I went out to see her and, whatnot. But for some odd reason, something deep down inside of me knew that it wasn't going to work out. But I ignored it, and I said, no, it's just me being negative and whatnot. I decided to move back. I decided to move to Ridgecrest, where this new school is. Or to my new job, I should say. And the first 3 weeks were fine. It was whatever. I was still talking to that girl. I was still having some struggles with what happened. From what happened in Egypt. So I was in the healing process, and having my girlfriend, helped a lot because we went through it together, so we can, vent to each other and just talk to each other and try to help each other get through it, which was working. But all of a sudden, the communication between her and me just stopped.
100%, huh?
Yeah. She was starting to party at her school.
Oh, crap.
Started going to different parties. She reacquainted with her ex-boyfriend. So, long story short, I was the rebound. But she got reacquainted with him. And so she was partying with him and whatnot. And, well, there's not much that I can do about that. So, I call her up one day and say, look, this isn't working out. Both of you and I know that this isn't going to work out. So let's not drag this on any further than it needs to go. And when we broke up, Matt, that was just the whole world started crashing down on me again.
Yeah.
Of all the troubles and all the struggles that I went through with this girl, I had a connection with this girl because of all the things we went through. But the heartache of breaking up with my girlfriend and all the struggles that I went through Egypt started coming down on me, and they came down hard, dude. It hit me so hard that it was just I was crying every day, dude. It was really hard.
Dang, man.
It was really hard. And it was to the point where I was just, like I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be in Ridgecrest. I want to go back home to my family. Because I was alone too. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any family. I was alone again. And all the emotions and all the struggles that I was having in Egypt were right back here with me. It was a nightmare. I had no friends, no family, nothing, man. It was just me and my roommate. But she was a lot older than me, and we really couldn't relate. I remember one time walking to McDonald's just to get out of the house, just to, get my mind cleared. And I sat down and I was trying to like make eye contact with there was this couple there, and I was trying to make eye contact with them to maybe strike up a conversation. And all of a sudden a homeless guy walks in, he starts talking to them, and he makes friends with them. Good for him, but I was like, man, like this sucks. Even the homeless guy's making more friends than me.
Jeez.
And I kid you not, man, I started crying there at McDonald's, dude. I started crying there, and I said, this is dumb. Why did I come here? I have no friends again. It was almost to a point where I got to a point where, look, in Egypt, I at least had someone to hate. I can at least look at my enemy.
Yeah.
In Ridgecrest, I had no one to look at but myself. And that to me was even worse than staring at my enemy. I remember thinking that. It's like, it's worse being here than it is in Egypt. Because
that says a lot about depression, man.
Dude, I was so depressed, man.
That's how bad depression is, that it's worse than coughing up blood in some terribly, like, harsh to live in country, like.
I remember saying, at least there I had my enemy to look at.
Wow.
At least I had my enemies close. At least I shared something in common with my enemy. Here, dude, it was just me. I had nothing, man. Not even my enemies or my friends. Nothing. And I was so depressed.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that that's a thing about America in general, that there's so many people here, but there's so many lonely people?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Dude, loneliness
lonely people,
kills,
man.
dude. Loneliness kills, man. It's a
know.
slow killer.
People are lonely here, man.
Yeah.
In this country, like, I don't know what it is, but just, I think it's the culture, like, individualist culture, like.
I think we're like, I'm emotionally strong. I don't need anyone, but reality, dude, it's like loneliness slowly kills you, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't, not only did I experience that in Egypt, it hit me harder here when I was back home. And I said, I'm supposed to feel safe here. I'm supposed to feel better. But I'm not. I feel worse now.
Yeah.
Because before I had my girlfriend to talk to, but she wasn't around anymore. And I had no friends, man. No one. And this went on for a year and a half, dude. A year and a half. And I remember when I was crying in McDonald's, little did I know that around the corner, in front of in the cashier section, would be one of my best friends. And believe it or not, Matt, thinking about that, it makes me tear up, man.
Damn, dude.
It strikes a chord, man. It hits a nerve, Because if I've only, two of my best friends, man,
Worked at McDonald's, man.
would be, it's hard, man.
It's all right, dude.
Two of my best friends were just around the corner, man. They were working the cashier register. Two of my best friends, family, man. Those guys are family. 2 of them. I didn't know. I had no clue, man, that those 2 guys were just around the corner. Maybe if I would have just ordered something, I would have met them sooner. Sorry, man.
No, it's all right, dude.
They're working right now, right? I think they're working
so.
right now.
They might be. I don't know.
Give me a second here. I remember calling my sister and telling her I don't want to be here anymore. And she said, "Just give it." I remember her saying, "Just give that place a chance. You suffer." She's telling me, "You suffered through the worst. You can get through this too." And I've always been someone to tough it out, And then, I've given you advice before. Say, act like stuff don't bother you. Act like it don't bother you. But this, man, This was just too much to not let it bother me. I think the hardest moment, that was one of the hardest moments. Another one was where I wanted to get out. I wanted to meet people. So I went bowling. I went bowling by myself, man.
Dude, when I lived in Missouri,
Yeah.
I went bowling by myself all the time.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, it actually became one of my favorite things to do at the time.
Really? By yourself, huh?
Well, I mean, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, man, after 9 o'clock, it was 25 cents a game. So it was it was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I remember going to the bowling alley and just bowling there by myself. And I tried to make eye contact with the next group over, but, they were doing their thing. They were having a good time.
Yeah.
And I was just there by myself. And I remember leaving early, walking home, and crying all the way back, dude. It came to the point where I just couldn't hold my emotions anymore. I cried all the way home. I'd never felt so alone in my life. Even more so than in Egypt. Because, again, at least in Egypt, I can look at my enemy.
You know what's crazy about that, man?
What's up?
While you were walking away from that bowling alley, little did you know, in the house overlooking the bowling alley would also be one of your closest friends.
One of my closest friends.
Right, like 100 feet away.
Yeah, little did I know that one of my other family member, one of my closest friends, lived just down the street from me.
Oh yeah.
She lived right down the street from me. And I wouldn't meet any of you guys for another year, man. For another year and a half, I wouldn't meet you guys. It was a very long year and a half for me, man. It was a very long year and a half for me. I never felt so lonely. And it wasn't until one of my church members was going out of town, and he let me borrow his car, and that's when I drove out to Starbucks and started actually seeing other people who weren't necessarily, because you guys are like almost I'm a decade older than you guys, but at least it was someone, at least someone that I can relate to, because anyone at church here who was my age is already married and have kids. Yeah. I didn't have those things, we're the same, the other people who are my age, we're the same age, but they're at a different stage in their life, and I can't really relate to them because they have a family and kids and a stable, and they grow roots.
Yeah.
But me, on the other hand, I'm refusing to grow roots, And I don't have those things. So I'm in a different stage of my life altogether.
You know what's funny about that, man?
What's that?
I remember when I first started seeing you, like when I would walk into Starbucks to do homework with like other members of community college.
Yeah.
And I'll just see you there on your laptop, and I'd be like, I remember one day just thinking like, I don't know why, but that guy looks like a nice guy. I wonder what his story is. And then one day we just like started talking.
Yeah.
So random.
We'll get to that part real quick, but it wasn't until I started driving. This church member was kind enough to let me borrow his car, so I started driving out there.
Nice guy.
Yeah. However, this same guy is the one who introduced me to our mutual friend, Rick. And Rick was, I think he's 2 years younger than me.
So wait, did this church member, like, did he introduce you because he knew you needed a friend that was around your age, or did he just like say, hey, you want to meet this guy?
No, he knew a lot about me. I opened up to him. I needed to open up to someone, so I opened up to him about my struggles and whatnot. So I think he just kind of say, hey, why don't you meet this guy? You know, you guys are similar age. And I met Rick. And it wasn't like we clicked right away. But I remember one time I came to Starbucks one time, and we were just sitting there. We just started talking about like finances. And that's something we had in common.
Wait, did you guys ever go to InShape together?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
We started talking about finances. We started talking about motivation. We started talking about cars. Like all these things. We like, whoa, I finally met someone who has similar interests and is at the same place in life as I am. It's like I can relate to this guy. And I can talk freely and I don't have to watch what I say.
Yeah.
And he won't be judgmental about it. And Rick really, man, was a breath of fresh air for me, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I finally have a friend. It's like, damn. It's like, and it was like, and then Rick was really cool. We went out to have pizza. It was like, man, I was like, I wish I would have known this guy sooner, right? I wish I would have known all you guys sooner, but. And Rick was really that breath of fresh air for me. It was like, I finally have a friend that won't judge me, who won't ridicule me, and if he does say something mean to me, it's because he's trying to be. It's all fun and games.
Yeah.
Because how we all treat friends mess around.
Yeah.
Like Rick was the guy, man. Rick was the guy. He's the one who really just opened it all up for me. He was the one who really opened it up for me. And, man, Rick is a great guy, man. He's he's funny. He's a great guy. And so me and Rick started connecting. We would talk. We would hang out every once in a while. And, I would always, if I was ever curious about someone, I would ask him, like, hey, who's that? Who's that? What do they do? Can you introduce me? And so that's how it really started. Rick was the key. He was the gate that really just opened it all up for me. And so that was the story of me and Rick there. I felt like we really connected. And then I think he was my only friend for a while until I started coming, continuously going to Starbucks in the fall. And then I remember, I think I met Abby first. I remember Abby and, what's his name? Matt. I remember Abby and Matt. I remember watching them, and I knew that there's something was going on between them, and they were going through their whole breakup thing.
Oh, dude, I met you before that.
Did you meet me before?
Yeah,
All right, so let's
definitely.
go back to that. Then I remember walking in then, and see you. I remember you were when I walked into Starbucks. I remember you were the first person that I saw that day,
Yeah.
and I
was like studying with like Yaz and Suze or something
yeah,
like that.
you were with a group of people, and I remember walking in. I was like, dude, this guy looks like Kevin Bacon. Like no, Mark Wahlberg.
You said I looked like a young
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, ladies, this guy looks like Mark Wahlberg.
That's hilarious, man.
Like you look like Mark Wahlberg when he was in Fear. Have you seen that movie? With it was Mark Wahlberg and
No,
and Reese Witherspoon.
I haven't seen
Ladies,
it.
this man looks like Mark Wahlberg in Fear. No doubt.
That's hilarious.
I remember seeing you or looking at you. I was like, dude, this guy looks like Mark Wahlberg, and he looks mean. I was like, dude, this guy looks mean.
You thought I looked mean,
Yeah,
man?
dude. I thought you like when you said hi to me. I was like, man, this guy. Like you look like you felt obligated to say hi to me.
Well, I mean, okay, I was a little stressed about school and stuff. So
Understandable,
you're not
yeah.
completely wrong about that.
And I was like, hey, how's it going, man? You know, we talked. And I was didn't want to, I was like, I better not bug this guy. It's like,
Yeah.
this guy looks serious. Like, he looks like he's going to kick my ass if I say,
What the hell?
I say hi to him one more time.
That's funny, man. Most people think I look pretty approachable.
Really? Dude, you looked intimidating to me, man.
Wow.
And I was not in the mood to get my feelings hurt that day.
Oh, jeez.
So I was like, I'll just say hi, what's up, ask him what his name is, ask you what your name is. And then, so that was that part. And then I remember running into you again. I was like, oh man, it's Mark Wahlberg. I better not say too much to him. You know?
Told me this long ass spiel though,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then Rick was helping you out, telling me this long ass thing about not getting in debt in college.
Oh yeah. And then we gave you this speech.
Yeah, and it went on for a very long time.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. Yeah, we started talking and we talked about finances and
Yeah.
sorry about that.
No, it's all right.
And then little did I know, Matt, that was the birth of a new relationship, dude.
Yeah, man.
Man, I can't lie to you, dude. Dude, you were that man. I can't describe how I feel about our friendship, dude.
Thanks, man.
It's like it's more of an expression, like it's a hug.
Yeah.
That's how I can express how I feel about our relationship. It's just a big hug, man.
Yeah, man.
It's just a big hug, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys realize the impact that you guys have had on me, man.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really be able to.
I can't even describe it. It's like words fall short for it. But you, man, that was like I can't describe how it connect that connection, man. I'm lost for words, man. The best way I can express it is just a big hug, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's just a giant big hug.
And it was so random, wasn't
It was really random. It was just like I walk in, hey man, what's up? That's all it was, really.
That's all it took, dude.
That's all it took, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? That's all it fucking takes to really help someone, man.
Yeah, dude. Especially and to even start like a friendship or a
Yeah.
relationship, you know. I don't know, I felt like we also just clicked, man.
Yeah, we did.
I think it was, and man, I didn't know at the time that it was going to be so much more than just look, hey, what's up, man.
Yeah.
It was going to be like, hey, let's go hang out, let's get some coffee, let's talk about girls,
Yeah.
let's talk about
We're
travel.
talking about the Egypt thing.
Yeah,
We're talking about.
let's talk about family.
I think we
problems.
talked about Trump a little bit at
Yeah.
one point, and I think that was like one of the first conversations we had.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, let's talk about family. Let's talk about religion. Let's go to church together.
Yeah, yeah. You went to my church. I remember that.
It became so much more than I was anticipating, man. Like our friendship just like it just boomed.
Yeah, I know, man. I don't even know how.
I don't know how either.
Like remembering back on it, I don't even know. Like it just kind of, all of a sudden, like I blinked and we were good friends.
And that's it, dude. And I was like,
so weird.
I wasn't expecting this, you know. I was expecting, look, God, you know. I remember praying and said, God, I need help. Send someone, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting a family man, but God gave me one anyways.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask for one, but He gave it to me anyways.
Yeah.
And so we connected, and I was like, man, I can't believe that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Mark Wahlberg.
That's hilarious.
Um,
Yeah, man, you've actually you came in a good time in my life too.
oh,
You know,
man.
like I think, I needed you just as much as you needed me at the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe not just as much, I don't know. But I know I needed you at the time.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
so.
Yeah, I mean, everyone, man. I mean, man, it's just like, believe it or not, like when I saw you again, it's like, yeah, I was a little intimidated because you gave up that vibe to me.
Yeah.
But I was happy to see you again. I was like, oh, I know this guy.
Yeah.
I know this guy. And then I remember sitting in Starbucks and I remember seeing Abby and Matt.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was some conflict going on there.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't want to be nosy, but I didn't want to be nosy, but I was. And I overheard some conversation that, I heard Matt saying, we're back together. At first, I heard him, yeah, we broke up.
Yeah, because they broke up temporarily and then got back together.
And I remember Matt saying, yeah, we broke up. And, dude, and my heart sank for the guy, dude.
Yeah.
I could see it in his face that he was devastated, man.
Yeah, man.
And I felt that compassion for him, man. It's like, dude, I know how you feel. I wanted to tell him this, dude, but I didn't know him.
Matt looked intimidating, huh?
Matt was super intimidating, dude.
His fucking handshake and
dude,
shit.
I remember, even prior to this, I remember meeting him one time, like saying hi, and he gave me like the strongest handshake. I was like, I think I have a pretty strong handshake, but this guy, dude, I was like, I don't want to.
Got freaking bare hands,
dude.
Man.
I was like, I don't want to mess, dude. I don't want to. I just want to say hi.
Because Matt's a big guy.
He's a big dude.
He's
man.
actually the strongest guy I've ever met.
How tall is he? He's like 5'10" or something.
Yeah, he's not that tall, but he's big.
Yeah.
Like that guy is.
He's a beast, dude.
He can squat over 500 pounds. He's that kind of strong.
Yeah, and I remember his handshake was like, bro, I won't. Sorry for shaking your hand. I'll just say hi next time. And I remember shaking his hand. We met one time. I think it was Rick introduced us, and he just gave me this blank stare. I was like, oh, dude.
Well, because I became friends with Matt at the same exact time when him and Abby were like, yeah, we weren't really friends. Actually, me and Matt hated each other.
Really? No way.
Yeah, in like school.
Why? And
back in high school. Like,
yeah.
so then we didn't really know each other because he was in Montana, and we didn't become friends until him and Abby like broke up.
Wow.
And I was kind of there to like, I don't know. It was also a random thing that like I knew he kind of needed someone, and I was friends with Abby at the time, so I was like,
man, were the stars aligning, dude?
Dude,
were the planets aligning?
Literally,
dude?
Okay. I don't want to give away this part of the story because I want you to get to it organically, but
yeah. Don't say anything. Let's just get back.
You know what part I'm referencing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And so I remember meeting Matt and was like, dude, this guy, like, sorry for shaking your hand. He gave me just every time I met him, it was like, hey, how's it going? Matthew, right?
Yeah.
And he would just look at me like blank, like stare, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're Josh, right? I was like, yeah, great to meet you. Uh-huh. I was like, oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to say hi to you. I'll walk away. I'll walk past you next time. And I remember hearing Matt saying, yeah, we broke up. Overheard him saying we broke up. I do it. And I did this before I actually met Matt. And I said, man, I feel his pain. I had compassion for him. And I wanted to tell him, look, dude, I know what you're going through. Give yourself time. This too will pass.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell him, but I didn't know the guy, and I could see he was pretty devastated, and I wanted to give that guy a hug. I wanted to give him a hug, and tell him it's going to be okay. And when I heard they got back together, I said, man, they're only prolonging. They're only prolonging the breakup again. You know, you're only making it. You're only extending what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And obviously, I didn't tell him that. You know, that's just, you know.
Yeah.
And what was it, like a week later they broke up again or something like that?
Part of that's my fault because I kind of convinced Abby to give him another chance.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I convinced her, but I definitely like tried to.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I felt like she was just like, you know, I don't know. I don't want to get into all that.
Yeah.
So, but.
I mean, they're young.
Yeah.
So, you guys are young. And yeah, and then that was I don't honestly, I don't remember. And I guess it was just continuously. And then I think the day that I actually really got to meet Matt was the day that the three of us hung out. We drove out to the college and just hung out there.
Oh yeah.
I think that was the day that me and Matt really clicked.
Yeah.
And Matt was working at McDonald's.
Yep.
He was working at McDonald's. And it just happened so naturally that we just, you know, and I didn't see a whole lot of Matt either because he was constantly working. But we started building a friendship slowly, but it was growing.
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Yeah. And, you know, Matt has that look. And I told you this before. Every time I see Matt, like if I'm feeling down and if I see Matt walking through like Starbucks, I know it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know everything. I look at Matt and I say, life is going to be okay for me. Life is going to be okay. It's going to turn out to be okay. Hey, that's the vibe I get from Matt. And this is when we were starting to just slowly build a relationship. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, Matt, you know, every time I see you, I'm happy. I become really happy when I see you.
Yeah.
It's like when I see you walk through, whenever I see you walk through Starbucks or wherever I see you, you're a reminder that life's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just the vibe I get from that guy.
Dude, I feel like, well, okay, was it at this point that you started to kind of like become part of the community with like Justine and Chandler and like?
Yeah. I was.
When did you meet Justine? Like,
I don't know when I met Justine. I really don't. And I don't even. I remember seeing Peyton.
Oh yeah, Peyton.
And
on the open mic nights. And
I remember meeting Peyton. I was folding origami, and she kind of like saw me doing it. And she smiled at me. I was like, "Oh, hey, you're that barista girl." I didn't say that to her, but I didn't say anything. But we later. I don't know how honestly, but I really don't remember. I remember the first time I saw her, but I don't remember actually meeting her.
Who, Peyton?
Yeah.
I bet you it was at the open mic night.
Probably, yeah. And then Peyton, Peyton and I, we really connected when open mic night over origami. I made her 2 origami griffins, and she made me like a tessellation.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I still have
cool,
that.
Man.
Yeah, I still have that, by the way. But yeah, Matt was a reminder to me that life was going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I kept telling him. So Matt and I, our relationship didn't move as quickly as Rick and yours. It didn't grow as quickly as those two. But Matt was like a slow brew.
Yeah.
It was like a slow brew. And then I think we really started connecting when we started playing that card game.
Oh yeah.
When we started playing
it was
cards.
even before that, man.
You think so? It was before that?
I definitely remember. You remember when I was like going through the whole me and Nick, like who you also met around this time?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
We were going through
Nick.
the
Yeah.
intervention thing with a different friend of mine that you never met.
Right.
And I was with you and Matt one day,
Yeah.
and you guys were kind of there while I was stressed out about that situation. And then,
Yeah.
like, the day before the actual intervention thing, me, you, Matt,
Oh,
Andrew,
yeah.
and
That's right.
John, and Nick. Oh, Matt wasn't there.
I remember
Went to,
that.
like,
Yeah.
John's Pizza. That was the day of the open mic night. And, like,
Yeah.
we all just kind of, like, I remember you kept saying whenever, like, I would get a text about this intervention thing, you would just go, fucking, we're in good company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I don't know.
Yeah. And then so my relationship with Matt was a slow brew, but it brewed and it boiled, man. And Matt, I tell Matt, like, Matt, you're family to me, dude. I tell him you're my brother, dude. And I've told all of you guys this, like, you guys are family. You guys are more than friends. You guys are my family. And there's nothing that I wouldn't do for friends and family, dude. Like, if you guys call me and you want to meet up, I'll make time for you guys.
Yeah, dude.
I'll make time. So that was, and then we started playing cards.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, me and Matt, like, every day. It was like almost every day.
Oh, and then you met Sawyer.
And then I met Sawyer. Sawyer was a cool cat, too.
Well, because you also met Abby before that, and that goes into the one thing that happened.
Yeah.
I'll let you tell that story.
Yeah, let's go into that. I remember I was in Starbucks early Saturday. I was doing some stuff. And I remember seeing Abby there. It's like, that girl looks familiar. I saw her around. I saw her around a couple times, and she was sweeping up. And I said, I'm gonna talk to this girl, see what's up. She looked tired. She didn't look like she was, she looked tired. I guess it was early in the morning. But she was sweeping, cleaning up, and I said, just to strike up a conversation, I said, for the just to wanting to say something, to wanting to just talk. I said, hey, do you want me to move out of the way? Sorry, I don't mean to get in, need to keep you from doing your job. And she said, oh, no, it's fine. Don't worry. They'll just work around you. I remember her saying, if I need you to move, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
She said something around those lines. And I'm like, all right. But that was the start of our friendship right there. And Rick really helped push that friendship along as well. Yeah. Because I remember Rick and I would be talking, and she would come in and listen in, and we would have Rick, her, and I would just have deep conversations, and so that's how our relationship started. And then I remember Abby invited me to that worship one time.
Yep.
And I said, that's really nice of you. Like, I didn't tell her that, but I was like, wow, that's really sweet of her to invite me to something like this. Because I really needed it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, my relationship with God was non-existent. It was to the point where I wasn't doubting who God was. I was just like, God doesn't care about me. Like, he's forsaken me. He doesn't care. He's non-existent in my life. So Abby really was a spiritual uplift for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I needed it the most, man. When I needed it the most, she was there. And also, you were there too, man. Because you two were the huge spiritual uplift that I needed, man. I was like, my relation with God was in a dump, dude.
Yeah.
And you two, like, you guys pulled me out of it, man.
Dang, man.
You guys pulled me out of it. Like, I got comfortable being in the dump, dude. I was like, I'm comfortable here. I'm not getting out. God doesn't care. And you guys came along and you guys just pulled me out of it, dude.
Are you going to tell the story about the lighthouse, man?
Wow. Yeah, she invited me to the lighthouse. I was like, well, that's really nice of her.
Dude, I love this moment, man.
Yeah, man, we were singing and praising, and that was, Abby told me, said, look, she said something along the lines that, look, I know you feel that God doesn't care, but he told me to tell you that he still cares about you.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, I didn't even like.
She was praying in the war room.
Yeah.
And I guess God told her that.
Yeah.
And she came back and told you.
Because she knew a little bit about my past experiences.
Yeah.
No, I think she had a good understanding about it. But when she told me, she said, God told me to tell you that he still cares about you.
This is like God proving himself to you, man. Like that moment is too.
Yeah, it was.
Man.
Yeah, it was.
And that war room was powerful, dude.
Yeah.
There's this little closet area that had like sticky notes of different prayers all around the walls, and like I put a prayer on the wall, and I just kind of sat there and reflected, and I was reading all these prayers about like, take care of my mom, like she's sick, and like there's all these like it was powerful, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I never thought Abby was this type of person either.
Yeah, dude, Abby had a huge spiritual impact on my life too.
It's like, yeah, man. I mean, it's like I was actually like, whoa, I didn't know you were this type of person.
Yeah, she's extremely religious.
I remember us having a conversation about her one time, and I told you, I think, when it's not that I think, it's like, I know Abby's she's already a great person. She's a great friend.
Yeah.
But I remember telling you, I know that Abby's going to grow to be an amazing woman.
Yeah.
A spiritual, God-fearing woman. She already is that.
Yeah.
But as she continues to, grow.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, but the thing about this thing at the lighthouse, man, can I tell this part?
Yeah, for sure, dude.
It was a really cool moment for me, like living in this town my whole life, because like growing up in like a Catholic family and like going to school at St. Anne's, there was always like this weird tension between Catholics and Protestants.
Mm-hmm.
And at this thing, it was just a worship service. It was like a musical worship service thing.
Yeah.
And the singer from my church, Jessica, was up there singing. So she was Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And then joining her was a singer named, Janice or?
Something like that, yeah.
It was a different J name girl from DCC, which is a Protestant church. And then a guy named like Jared or something like that, or Jason, I can't remember.
Something like that, yeah.
All I know is that his name started with J. He started playing with them. So it was like 3 different J-named people.
Yeah.
Like from 3 different churches just singing together. And we were all just in there like praising God, man.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful moment, man. That moment was irreplicable.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the most like spiritually notable moments in my life.
Yeah.
There's like a handful of moments in my life
and that was one of those for me.
Yeah, man.
And I'm glad it was with you guys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and Abby had a tremendous impact on my life. The short amount of time that I've known her, she's had a tremendous impact. And she only lived down the street from me. She only lived down the street from me. I can never stop saying enough good things about you guys. We can go on forever. I remember meeting Sawyer. Funny guy. Really, he's a giant teddy bear.
Big old teddy bear.
Yeah. Love that guy. He's family too.
And John.
Oh man, Johnny.
my bro.
Johnny.
Love this guy.
I worry for that guy. I worry for that guy.
You
know, I remember meeting John. I was like, man, this guy is so weird. This guy is like,
but you love him, right?
But I love the guy. I love the guy.
Dude, me and John became friends for spiritual reasons.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, we became friends. Like, it was like I moved back from Missouri. It was my first class I was taking at Saracoso, Math 55. And he was in that class. Yeah. And I remembered him from 6th grade when we were friends in PE.
Yeah.
and I just randomly decide, hey, dude, you want to come to Del Taco with me? And we're there, and this guy just randomly asks me out of nowhere, not knowing anything about my religious views, what's your relationship with God?
It is random.
Dude, and from that moment on, man, me and John were tight, dude.
Man, Johnny, man. I love that guy. That guy's so weird, man.
I love
but
that
I love
guy,
that guy, dude. Everyone needs a little Johnny.
Like,
in their
I will
life,
never
dude.
forget that guy,
Yeah.
man, as long as I live.
Everyone needs a little Johnny in their life. I remember meeting Nick from you guys.
Yeah, dude.
I remember like, dude, this guy. Like, I'm a pretty short guy. I'm only like 5'6" on a good day, and you
Yeah.
guys are all like almost 5'10" and everything.
Yeah,
Nick's pretty tall guy.
he's tall.
Yeah. I remember was like, dude, this guy looks like a freaking Nazi, dude. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy looks scared. Dude, he looks like, it's like, dude, I better not say anything like nice to him or he's
Wait.
going to think I'm like a.
Why do you think that is? He looked like a Nazi.
He's super tall. To me, he's tall. And he's super vulgar guy.
Yeah.
But I love this. Man, I love Nick, dude. Nick is family too, man.
Dude, I know, right?
Dude, I got to meet Nick. And he was just so straightforward with people. I was like, dude, I like this guy.
That's
this
what
guy
I love
is
about
like,
him, man.
when Nick talks, I stay silent because I'm waiting for him to say something funny so I can just laugh, dude.
Like, Nick's the type of guy that will curse like a sailor. He's like loud and active and like vulgar but then like when it comes down to it, man, he's got this heart of gold,
dude,
and he's emotional and like
he's a giant teddy bear too, man.
Dude, that guy is you can have the most heartfelt conversations with that guy.
Dude, man,
You'll never expect it either.
Nick is amazing guy, man. Nick's an extraordinary man. Man, I can't say enough good things about Nick. Nick is such a G, dude. He's such a G, dude. He's like, everyone needs a friend like Nick. Because you could just let loose with that guy. You could say whatever you want, and he won't never judge you for it, dude.
Yeah,
he would never
also
judge
whenever
you
you're
for it.
acting like a dumbass, you can expect Nick to give you the harsh truth, man.
Yeah, or he'll join in too. So,
yeah.
Yeah, he's an honest guy, man. And he's just, don't take it personally. He's just an honest guy with a big heart.
Yeah, man.
He's an honest guy with a big heart. And man, Nick is a G, man.
Dude, Nick is like,
guy. I love that guy.
It's funny about Nick is he's got this like he's very principled about this hardcore like moral code that he lived to, that he just created himself.
Yeah.
And like he'll live by it, man.
Yeah.
Like his morals are nowhere from any religion.
Right.
They're just his life experience,
Yeah.
and from meeting people, and like he'll stick by them and be completely principled with them, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to explain it, but
he lives by his own code.
he lives by his own code,
by
man.
his own code, dude.
Exactly.
And don't deter him for him because he'll rip into you, man. but Nick's a G, man.
He's a G.
Man, he's the real thing, dude. He's the real thing. Man, I don't want to forget anyone. I feel bad if I forget anyone. But there's a whole barista crew too, man.
The whole barista crew, man. Justine.
Justine.
I'll never forget when you were like, Justine's a ray of sunshine.
Justine. All right, let me put it this way. Justine is. All right, this is a little embarrassing. I think Justine is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. I think she's absolutely beautiful.
And she's just like, well, I mean, it's
she's
just her
so
personality
sweet.
is beautiful, dude.
Her
like,
personality and her smile are just on par, man. She's just the package.
Yeah, she's sweet.
And Chandler's a lucky guy.
Oh,
man.
dude, Chandler's a sweetheart too, though.
Chandler's a lucky guy.
Oh,
Chandler
man.
is cool, man. Chandler's Chandler's cool too. He's a cool
man.
guy. I briefly met him, but I got some good vibes out of him.
I love that guy. He's a nice guy, man.
Yeah. But Justine, she's a sweet. She's a sweet girl, man. Very friendly person.
Yeah.
Always gives me hugs. It's like, what did I do to deserve
She'll
this
go
hug?
down the line and give everyone a hug.
Yeah.
Man. Like,
what did I do to deserve a hug today from Justine? Yeah, she's a great person. She's a great person. And Chandler's a cool, I'm briefly met him, but I get good vibes from Chandler. He's a lucky guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
Daniel's a cool guy too, man.
Daniel the barista?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel's a cool guy.
He's a
man.
nice guy, man.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I've ever met anyone nicer than him.
Dude, he's one of the nicest people I've ever met,
right.
too.
It's like, what can I do to make you stop smiling?
I know.
It's like he's always positive. At least from what I've seen him,
Dude,
always
he's,
positive.
He's always positive, man. That's one of the first compliments I ever gave him.
Yeah, always positive. Always like a smile on his face. It's like, what can I do to stop making you smiling, man? It's like, I remember seeing him one time. It was super busy that day. I remember him just like moving fast and swift and like giving orders, but not in a rude way.
Yeah.
Like he was like, he was like he was giving orders, but in a very respectful way.
Dude, that guy has like
man,
19 charisma points, man.
Dude, like, it's like, where did this guy come from, man? This guy's like the real deal here too, man.
Yeah.
Super cool guy, man. Super cool guy.
Like that guy's like just so charismatic.
Yeah.
Like he's just, I don't know.
I don't know. Don't tell Abby this, but I don't know. He might be in running for first place for best barista, man.
I don't know.
Don't tell that to Justine either.
He's pretty damn good.
He's
barista,
pretty damn.
man.
Yeah, he's pretty good, man.
And he's fast too.
Yeah, he's fast. Yeah, cool guy, man. Cool guy.
Yeah, and River
and Peyton.
Yeah.
Beautiful couple. I think they're engaged, right?
Yeah.
Man, much love to them. Peyton's also a very beautiful girl. Sweet girl. Rivers is a cool guy, too.
Dude, I'm going to miss you at the open mic nights, dude.
Talking randomly.
Dude, this guy's my hype man at the open mic night. Every time I perform, this guy's there to, like, cheer me on, man. Well, one time I walked into the open mic night, and it was packed. Like, it was full house, dude. I just walk in, and Josh shouts out for the entire Starbucks to hear, "Hey, everybody, Elvis is in the building." And I'm like, that's my man right there.
I try to, even in a joking way, I try not to say mean things to my friends. I always try to say positive and upbringing, commentary.
Yeah.
To those close to me. I want to build my friends. So even I may say something rude to them in a joking way.
Yeah.
But I try to stay positive and give, encouraging words to my friends.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Even if it means embarrassing them or embarrassing myself. Yeah, but Peyton and Rivers, I call him. His name's River.
Yeah.
But I call him Rivers.
You always call him Rivers.
Rivers. I don't know why. Cool people. Excellent people. Rivers a nice guy. It's like, how can I make you be mean to me or something? He's always nice.
Yeah.
Same goes with
guy, man.
Yeah, same goes with Peyton. Who else is back there? I think that sums up the baristas that I know.
I mean, except for Rick, obviously.
Oh, Rick, of course. Yeah. Rick is the one who started it all, man.
Yeah. Dude,
I mean, everywhere I go, I try to make friends, man. Friends to me is like, I value friendship because the reason I value friendship so much is because, knowing that I move around a lot because of what I'm doing with my life, I travel a lot. I don't always have time to form an intimate bond with a girl, Like, I don't date a whole lot or at all. I don't date a whole lot because I'm constantly moving around. I don't stay in an area for more than 2 years. I travel quite extensively. And so friendship has filled that void in perfectly. And the friendships that I've made, and even in Egypt, I still communicate with them. I still talk to them. And the friendships that I made here in Ridgecrest will be for life, man. Will be for the rest of my to my dying days. And so that's why I value friendship so much, because it has filled that void in for me.
Yeah, dude.
It has filled it in for me.
You know, man, like this guy, he's so like open and welcoming with people, like and sees the good in them. Like, I remember this one time I introduced you to my friends Matt and Willan, and this was the only time that you ever hung out with them, because Matt's usually off at San Jose. And anyway, we all drove around in Willan's freaking car, and these are two characters that, like, I don't know, a lot of people give them, like, they kind of get the harsh, I don't know, they get harsh treatment from people for whatever reason. They just, like, not a lot of people like him. You remember even
I remember
Matt said he didn't like him or something. Remember that one time?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and you were like, I don't see why. These guys are awesome. I don't know. That made me happy that you liked them, dude.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. I really like those guys.
I'm sorry. I don't. Is that Asian guy, Filipino guy?
No, that's Andrew.
Andrew, okay.
Do you remember when we drove around the desert in with there was an Asian guy and yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah.
I don't, those guys were cool.
Yeah, they were so cool, right?
They were chill, man. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Freaking what was the thing we called him? Captain.
Oh, Captain Blue Whale or something.
Captain Blue Whale.
Oh yeah,
something.
Captain Blue Whale. And who was the other guy's name? I forgot his name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something dumb, but
yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. So that was like kind of a moment where like you just met these guys and you acted like you'd known them for years, and it was like
they were cool guys, man.
Yeah, man.
Man, those guys are. They're unfortunately they're not here. Otherwise, man, they probably would have been family too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know what it's not. I know what it's like to not have friends, man. I know what it's like to only have enemies.
Yeah.
And to me, that's another reason why I value friendship, man. It's just I had no friends.
Yeah.
Friendship has done so much for me. Constantly moving around, it's hard to date.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to have a girlfriend. But I realize that wherever I make friends, those friends follow me for life.
Yeah, man.
So.
Yeah, I'm never gonna. I mean, I just want to stay in contact with you, dude.
Oh, for sure, dude. I mean, it's like one of those things. Like I call my family like at least once a week, dude.
Yeah.
And you guys are family now, so when I take off, you guys are gonna be getting at least a text saying, "Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
you still remember me?
You still remember me, man?"
And so is that everyone? Did I cover? I hope I covered.
I think that's
everyone.
about everyone, man.
There was also that guy, Savage B or Savage Brian.
Oh, Savage Brian with a Y.
Yeah, him. He's a cool guy. Although we really never talked a whole lot. We did have that. We did play that game once.
Oh, you met my friend Chris at one time.
Chris was a cool guy. There's Michaela that I briefly met. A young girl who's ambitious and looking to travel as well.
Oh, and Allie.
Met Allie. Yeah. I didn't talk a whole lot to Allie. I don't. You
gave her a fox though.
What's that?
You gave her a fox though.
Oh yeah. You know what? Me and her briefly talked a bit.
Yeah.
I gave her a origami fox. I saw her at the gym a couple times. I briefly met Yasmin.
Yeah, and you briefly met my friend Daniel and his girlfriend Grace, I think, was there too.
Yeah, Daniel's a cool guy. I never met his I don't think I met his girlfriend properly, or
maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if she was there. Or
Daniel
not.
Seemed like a cool guy. He was into stocks.
Yes.
So we did have something in common. He seems like a very passive, very.
He's
calm.
a very, I mean, like when you get to know him better,
he looks like a guy who stuff don't bother him, dude.
Well, he's really shy, like with new people.
Okay.
But if you get to know him better, like you see a whole new side of him, you know. But he's just so driven and industrious that like he's so focused, man. That like
he seems like a cool guy. Man, I know there's who was that guy we just recently met? He did all the drawings and he was showing us like.
Oh, I forget his name. I remember his name, but
I can't. He drew a picture for me one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a cool guy.
I think his name is Yosef or
something like that.
Something like that.
Cool guy, man. Very quiet. Looks kind of shy too.
Yeah.
Very funny.
But a friendly guy.
Yeah, friendly guy. Super friendly guy. Um, there was, there was a guy who was a barista, and his name was Timothy or something with T, and I would always call him T. Like, yo, what up, T?
Yeah.
I never saw him again, but he was a really cool guy. I briefly met Hannah. I briefly met her.
Yeah, you briefly met her, and
Yeah.
my client Eddie.
Your client
briefly
Eddie,
met him.
yeah. And I mean, these are just people I ran into. I mean,
Yeah.
just briefly met.
But you had like pleasant experiences with all of them.
With
huh?
all of them, yeah.
Did you ever have a bad experience with anyone here? Like, was there ever any people you didn't like, really?
I have to really think about that, but I think the answer is no. I think.
Wow.
I think I had a 100% positive experience with everyone I met here. I don't think there was a negative experience.
That warms my heart, man.
I got to think about that. Oh, Justin, you know Justin, right? I was going to some of his Saturday evening worships. I was going to some of it. He's a cool guy.
Who's Justin?
He was Abby's.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. I didn't even know you.
Oh,
went with
and I
that guy.
can't. Yeah, Justin's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. I really like Justin.
Huh.
I cannot believe I didn't forget. I just remembered Naomi.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
dude,
Naomi.
Oh, dude.
She's a sweet girl too. She's a sweet girl.
She's awesome, man.
She's a sweet girl. Very
She's really
energetic,
nice.
really funny.
Oh, dude.
Super
Naomi
funny.
makes me laugh so much.
Yeah.
She's like one of the funniest people. Like, I don't know. She's just really, she's quick-witted. I don't know.
She's also one of those girls that when I see her, life's gonna be okay for her.
Yeah.
Life's gonna turn out to be okay. I haven't told her that, but when I see her, when I see her, she's a reminder. Life's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be okay. Just stay calm. Naomi, yeah. I briefly met Carol. I briefly met
And Joe from the magic shop.
Joe Joe's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Who is Carol dating? I forgot his name.
Oh, Aiden.
Aiden. I briefly met.
Oh
him.
yeah, you met all those guys during the
Yeah.
whole crisis with that one crazy girl that you were gonna marry her.
I was gonna marry that girl, man.
There was this crazy girl. I don't know. It's a long story.
It's a
but
long story. But I wanted to meet her because I felt like she needed a friend.
Yeah.
I think that sums. Oh, I can't forget my main man. Well, not my main man. What's his name?
Matt Jones.
Matt Jones.
You went to his movie night that one
I
time.
went to his movie. He was a cool guy.
Then you met that girl there.
Oh, we're not gonna get into that.
But you did meet her.
I did meet her there. Matt Jones. Yeah. No. Marlo.
Oh, freaking Marlo too, dude.
Marlo, dude. Marlo's a cool guy, man.
Yeah, man.
I wish I would have connected a little bit more with Marlo.
Yeah.
Marlo seems like a cool, super chill guy.
Yeah, man.
Man, and I think every time I think that's everyone, there's always someone else that comes up. So I apologize if I did not mention your name.
It's just a lot of people.
It's just
man.
a lot of people. You know, Abby's mom was very sweet too.
Oh yeah, she's nice.
She's a very sweet woman. Man, there's so many people, but I don't like you asked me before. I don't think I've ever had a negative experience with someone. I never got like, oh, I don't want to hang out with this guy.
Oh yeah.
I never got that feeling. Matter of fact, it was like, I want to get to know you more. Who was
Yeah.
that one guy who was also my age? He was like 32. He was playing guitar, super talkative guy, spiky hair.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Dude, I don't know what his name is.
Remember that?
Yeah,
His name is Eamon.
Eamon. But hey, man, Eamon, you know, he was super talented. with that
Yeah, he
guitar.
was, dude.
Super talented.
Interesting guy.
A little out there, but cool guy. Super
Yeah.
talented. Respect to that guy.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, that's you know,
About everyone, huh?
that's everyone, dude. And the only regret that I have is just meeting you guys halfway through. That's my only regret. I wish I would have known you guys more.
Yeah, man.
And now we're here, dude. 1 week away.
That's right.
I'm 1 week away from saying goodbye to you guys.
We're gonna miss you, man.
man,
It's like we just gained a family member, and now we're gonna have to see him leave again.
yeah, it's
like, damn, dude.
Goodbyes have never been easy for me, and they never will be. I've just accepted that.
I mean, we've got fucking group chats with you, man, where we discuss when's the next time we're gonna meet this week.
Yeah.
Like
that's all it is.
And all of a sudden, that's gonna be dead.
Yeah.
That's just Josh is gone, man. No more Magic games with him. Like no more random drives to Lake Isabella together. Like
you remember that drive, man?
That was a great drive, man.
I think that drive for me was more just wanting to be around you, dude.
Yeah, same.
We didn't talk a whole lot.
We didn't really. No.
And honestly, I didn't want to talk a whole lot. I just wanted to be around you, dude. That's all it was. It was like I just want to be around you, dude. And we drove around for like 2 hours around the lake.
Yeah, man.
And it was just a bonding experience, man.
It really was. It really was, man. And then we had some good laughs out by the lake side.
Some good laughs. Talked about life. Talked about girls.
Yeah. Many talks about girls, man.
Yeah, a lot of talk about girls, man.
I mean, you helped me frickin' through some stupid girl things. This guy gave me some good advice, too.
That's on another podcast.
That's a whole another podcast, man.
But bro, we're here, man. Less than a week away, dude. Less than a week away. And the 2 years that I've had here, I will never trade them for anything, dude. This is one of the most special times of my life, dude. I learned so much about myself and what I value out of life. And it's starting to sink in, man. That everything that was built is done. Everything that we worked on, everything that we were building is now finished.
Yeah, dude.
It's finished. And whatever we built, man, is a beautiful thing.
That's funny, man. Like, this reminds me of that song that you used to hear me sing all the time at open mic night, dude. Time by Pink Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
Taking away the moments that make up a dull day.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know. That song just kind of, like, reminds me that things don't last forever.
Right.
The sun falls, it rises again, and like things change, things end,
You remember that one piece of advice I gave you? Enjoy it while you have it.
Yeah. But be ready to let it go.
But be ready to let it all go.
Dude, that was like, that's probably some of the most important advice you ever gave me, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
Enjoy it while you have it.
But be ready to let it all go.
Yeah.
And be open to the future.
Yeah. Be open to it. Enjoy it while it lasts. Embrace it. Love it. But be willing to let it all go. And though I've enjoyed it and loved it, this will be very hard for me to let go. But you guys, to leave Rich Chris will be difficult. But you guys are all, I'm taking you guys with me in my heart, man. You guys are with me. All of you guys. Rich Chris.
Yeah.
It's you guys that make this town. It's you guys. And if there's any last piece of advice that I can give anyone listening or to my friends here in Ridgecrest, go travel.
Go travel. All right, guys. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, you know where I'll be, man. I'll be waiting for you there.
8 episodes long, though, man. How do you feel that we're done?
I feel it's definitely bittersweet, man.
It is.
Because all good things must come to an end.
All good
And-
things must come to an end.
And this has finally come to an end, man.
Yep.
It was an emotional one for me, man. It was
You know,
tough
I'm
one.
kind of glad we waited a while to
Yeah.
record this podcast because I think it's better that we recorded it now, like right before you leave.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I feel like it's more meaningful this way.
yeah.
So,
One last thing. I'm planning to leave hopefully on either Thursday or Friday. I go back to LA with my family. I only
Yeah.
have 2 weeks to spend time with them. 2 weeks there. 2 weeks with them.
Yeah.
From there, I'm going to a summer camp for the rest of the summer.
Yeah.
From there, I go back to LA with my family. About 2 more weeks. And then I'm heading to Korea. And I don't know where life takes me from there. I don't know.
who knows, man?
A new chapter.
Whatever it's going to be, I know it's going to be awesome. I
And
mean, if it's a chapter in Josh Rojas's book, it's somehow awesome. I don't know how yet, but it will be. So,
I'll be waiting for you guys there.
yeah, man.
I'll be waiting for all of you guys there. You know where I'll be.
I'm going to come find you, man.
I hope so. I hope so.
Well, anyway, guys, thank you for listening. This has been out of all the things I've ever created in my life, I think this one's the most important. Like all the things that I've created, like not for school, just for myself. This one's the most important. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, share it with anyone who, you think would like it. And till next time, relax, enjoy the moment, and be ready to let it go. See you later.